The question is the motion be agreed to give the call to the member for Barker.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Mr Speaker, today we pause to acknowledge and honour the victims of the anti-Semitic terror attack that occurred at Bondi. We do so in sadness, in sympathy and in solidarity with the Jewish community and indeed with all Australians who have been shocked by this most hateful of acts. The scenes that unfolded at Bondi were confronting and heartbreaking. Families freely and joyously celebrating Hanukkah, a celebration of light, turned dark in an instant. A community going about an open expression of their faith until they were met with unthinkable violence driven by hate. The worst loss of Jewish life outside of Israel since the Holocaust. Innocent lives were taken, others were wounded, and countless more carry the emotional and psychological scars of an incident that has caused everyday Australians to gasp and to think to themselves, but this doesn't happen in Australia. Australia is a safe, peaceful and tolerant nation. It is precisely because of those qualities that this attack has been so deeply felt. We pride ourselves on being a place where people can worship freely and congregate without concern. When that basic expectation is violated, when Australians are targeted for who they are and indeed what they believe, we must confront it honestly and without equivocation. The victims of this attack are in the thoughts and prayers of my constituents. Their families carry a burden of grief that no one should be forced to bear, and they have our deepest sympathy and support. To the Jewish community, we offer not only our condolences but our solidarity. I extend my heartfelt condolences to all who mourn and all who grieve. Mr Speaker, anti-Semitism has no place in Australia. It is an ancient hatred that has taken a modern and aggressive form, emboldened by events abroad and normalised by the failure to challenge it at home. No Australian, Jewish or otherwise, should walk their neighbourhood in fear or be forced to gather, pray or learn behind guarded gates. This parliament has a responsibility not merely to condemn anti-Semitism but to confront it. That includes naming it, rejecting it and refusing to tolerate attempts to excuse or justify it. That means calling out anti-Semitism explicitly and recognising the role that Islamic extremism played in this attack. It means recognising the threat that this twisted ideology poses to the safety and security of all Australians. And it requires acknowledging an uncomfortable truth, that anti-Semitic hatred was allowed to fester in our streets and in our public discourse, and that the warnings were ignored until lives were lost. At Bondi, we saw the terrible cost of hatred when it metastasises into violence. But we also saw bravery from victims, from bystanders, from first responders who ran towards danger to protect others. In the face of darkness, everyday Australians showed extraordinary courage, and I want to, as others have, honour them as well. Mr Speaker, this attack was not only an assault on Jewish Australians, it was an assault on the values that underpin our liberal democratic society and thus an attack on all of us. Freedom of religion, freedom of association, egalitarianism and mutual respect are all important principles that make the Australian nation what it is. This attack has made clear that anti-Semitism is not confined to particular suburbs or cities, nor is the responsibility to oppose it confined to any single community. Across the Australian nation, Australians looked to Bondi with shock and sadness. They understood instinctively that this was an attack on all Australians. And they understood something else, that hatred left unchallenged never remains merely words. They now look to this parliament to speak plainly and to act responsibly, and to demonstrate our values are not just slogans, but standards backed by resolve. Mr Speaker, to the Jewish community, I want to say that the people of Barker stand with you. We grieve with you. We will not allow your safety, your dignity, or indeed your sense of belonging to be compromised. Your struggle against anti-Semitism is ultimately Australia's struggle to defend the values that define all of us. May the memories of those who lost their lives be a blessing. May the injured recover fully, and may this parliament honour their suffering by reaffirming the principles that make Australia the country we love. Principles that we must protect with vigilance and resolve. Mr Speaker, I commend the motion to the House.
Thank the member for Barker. The question is
authorised by Tony Pasin, Liberal Party, Mount Gambier.